Hi, I'm Jim Terrell.
Hi, I'm attorney Sharon J. Bruner. We'd like to show you a video.
Sharon, this is a video that depicts the last few moments of Mr. Pickett's life. Is that correct?
It is, and as indicated on the screen, this occurred on November 19th, 2015 in Barstow at the El Rancho Motel in Barstow.
Okay. Now, looking at the screen, one of the first things we're going to see, I believe, is just partially of the legs or of the officer and of Mr. Pickett. Is that correct?
It is, and it's important to note that this is also a motel/apartment where Mr. Pickett actually lived.
All right. And the other thing we should watch for is that after he speaks to Mr. Pickett, who suffers from a mental illness, we're going to see the officer walk parallel to him. And we've heard from witnesses that as he's walking parallel to him, that he is going ahead and trying to provoke him and saying, and incite him. Is that what we've got the reports from the witnesses?
It is. Several of the witnesses actually use the word antagonize. So it looks like right now, if you watch the video, you're going to see at the very top of the screen, Mr. Pickett in the hallway.
Okay. So there's Mr. Pickett in the hallway and he's talking to the officer.
But look as he rocks back and forth. That's important.
A lot of the medications on people that are mentally ill, they seem to almost be restless at times.
Mr. Pickett's behavior is non-aggressive. He seems to be communicating with the deputy, just not being threatening in any manner.
Right. And so we saw the deputy follow him, and that's where the witness says, no, leave him alone. Now, what do we have here at this top?
It looks like, from what I can tell, is that Mr. Pickett is stopped at the end of the hallway. The deputy, again, just outside the hallway, but parallel to him, and it looks like there's some communication. But the body language is really important. Don't see any threats of aggression or rapid movements from Mr. Pickett that would threaten the officer in any way.
And by the way, he's committed no crime. He's done nothing wrong. He lives here.
No, isn't the reason that he even had contact with the deputy something that was very minor?
It was indeed, and that's what I think. Oh, now we seem to have some kind of a confrontation right here going on with the officer, it looks like, grabbing and throwing Mr. Pickett.
Wow.
Okay, now at this point, look how fast he was thrown down.
It does look like Mr. Pickett was pushed or thrown.
Now over to the right, you're going to see that's the ride along, and now Mr. Pickett's down. He took a terrible loss and a hit at that speed going down there. He looks to be unconscious. He doesn't seem to be resisting whatsoever. Is that how you see it, Sharon?
That's exactly how I see it, and I'm sure he sustained some injuries from that fall
oh my
down
God,
those
that
steps.
officer is just pounding on him with his fist, just beating him.
What's the ride-along doing?
There's the ride-along that shows up, and he kicks him right there. You can see that he kicks him. Where is the danger to the officer? Where is the danger, Sharon?
And why is there a civilian ride-along getting involved in this altercation anyway?
Now, the Mr. Pickett, we believe at this time, is dead. Is that correct?
Yes, and that appears to be a neighbor poking her head out to find out what's happened. I'm sure the gunshot alerted her to that there's something awful going on outside of her room.
So we have Mr. Pickett dead to the right, an officer to the left, laying there.
The ride-along doing whatever he's doing.
Yeah, the right along. God knows what he's doing over there, other than having witnesses go back inside. And now we're taking another look at it again. He's in the air, Sharon.
It's a little closer shot.
Yes, much.
Oh,
closer.
it looks like the deputy has raised his hand. If you look at his right arm, looks like he was in a position where he would be pointing the gun at Mr. Pickett.
Right. Look at that body. There's no fighting going on. There's no resisting going on. His arms are going there. And now we're going to see punches thrown. Is that what we're going to see? His hand is up. His arm is up.
Oh, shots, fists to the face.
All over the place. And he's not doing anything. He's not resisting.
Mr. Pickett is putting up no fight.
And there we see the kick from the right along once again. And when you take a look at this, you realize, oh my God, this man has done nothing. He has committed no crime. And he's laying in front of us right now dead.
And Mr. Pickett's mother, Dominic Archibald, to this day indicates that she just cannot watch this video, and I understand completely why.
At the end of this video, there's going to be two things that are going to be added on. At the end of this video, you're going to see Mr. Pickett, after they run over and check on the officer, make sure he's okay, Never check on Mr. Pickett. You won't see any ambulances come and rescue, and you'll see a deputy or law enforcement officer throw his body to the side like it's a garbage bag.
I just can't believe that there weren't any medical personnel on hand to render aid to Mr. Pickett. It's just unconscionable.
Well, Sharon, if that bothers you, you and I both know that what happens after this is even worse. They don't refrigerate his body and it rots. Look at that officer change his position. That's amazing. Why is he coming over to Mr. Pickett, who's obviously dead? And what is he doing? Now here's the deputies coming to help the officer. No one's checking on Mr. Pickett.
No, I believe that at some point, 2 deputies actually dragged Mr. Pickett's body off the scene, again, before medical personnel have even assessed Mr. Pickett's condition.
How about the fact that it's a crime scene and there needs to be some preservation of evidence? Does that ever seem to dawn on anyone's mind here at all?
Amazing.
And what was the alleged injury to the deputy?
I think that we had heard through different sources, maybe a broken nose, possibly a broken rib. I don't know that those sources were ever authenticated, though.
What I saw would not involve him getting injured whatsoever. And it looked to me as though Mr. Pickett's body was feebly laying on the ground, and perhaps he was unconscious or near death.
And you have to keep going back to the question, what is it that Mr. Pickett did to deserve to be shot down?
He's done no wrong. There's no crime been committed. They would teach officers that if you stole a television or money, you can't shoot him for property. But I guess out here is that if you have a problem with an officer, it could cost you your life. And Sharon, this is going on not just here, but all over America.
Absolutely. And thank goodness that we're now having the aid of some of these videotapes so that we can actually bring some justice to these families.
You know, people talk and then there's action. We're hoping to see a lot of people on July 26, Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Sharon, tell us some more about that.
If you find this video to be alarming, if you're concerned about the fact that law enforcement seems to be killing unarmed black men at an astonishing rate, and if you're concerned about what's happening in the world, our nation, along with what's happening in our community, you need to be present on July 26th at 5 p.m. at the Victorville Courthouse. There'll be information provided along with this video, but it's imperative that you be there to express your concern in a peaceful manner as to how law enforcement are handling these matters.
Now, it's a peace rally. It's called a countdown. Why is it called a countdown, Sharon?
Well, we've been waiting for some justice for this family and for the killing of Nathanael Pickett from the district attorney's office. They've had ample time to investigate this case. Still, we don't have any answer. Do you have any idea of what's going on with the investigation against this deputy?
I know one thing. The time that they said to make the announcement, the time that Ramos's crew was going to come out, has come and gone. Watch the video, open your eyes, and you can clearly see what occurred here.
We hope to see you on July 26th. Again, we want to underscore that this is going to be a peaceful rally.
Thank you.